We're back with another live webinar, Cyrus.
This is the favorite time of the week for us. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It's another beautiful day in Santa Monica, California. Let us know where you're coming from in the chat box.
That's right. Costa Rica today was less than 90 degrees.
Wow, that's shocking. A cold day for you.
Seriously, I almost had to put on a sweatshirt earlier today. I put on a shirt for the first time in a while.
Yeah, there we go.
So if you're just coming in, you're just joining us right now. Give us in the chat box. Tell us exactly where you're coming from, because we love to see where everyone is. Looks like we got our.
If anybody's coming from Alaska today, Cyrus, I think they win a prize.
Ooh, I like it. We got Laura from Colombia, South America, Phoenix, sunny Florida, Michigan, California. Oh, we got Anchorage, Alaska. Boom.
Ooh, there it is.
Look at that. Coming in strong. Nice work, Mary.
That's great.
What's the prize?
A high five.
Boom. There it is.
Good job, Mary.
Nice work. Looks like there's just over 350 of you guys here already, which is fantastic. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday so far. It's good to be back to another episode of the Mastering Diabetes live webinar. Today we're going to be talking about foods that have very specific antiviral effects. It's actually really fascinating research. And in today's world, talking about foods that boost your immunity and have specific antiviral and antibacterial, I should say, anti-infectious disease properties is a very relevant subject. So I'm glad you guys are joining us today.
And we have a lot of people coming to us for their first webinar experience, 24%. So this is number one. 15%, this is webinar number two. We have a lot of people, 60% who have attended 3 or more webinars. It's great to have you guys back with us.
Yeah, that's great. That is fantastic.
I like it.
Yeah, so looks like we got some people from Canada, Kimberly, Audrey, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Chris from San Francisco Bay Area. I used to live there. Nice work. Got a pretty international audience today here. I like this.
Colleen, thanks for checking out the Chef AJ episodes. We both went live with Chef AJ recently. That was fun. She's a real character. I love Chef AJ.
She's incredible.
Yeah. So I'm going to end this first poll. We got about 23% of you. This is your first webinar. So welcome. A lot of you coming back for a second or third or fourth or fifth experience. That's great. We also want to know what type of diabetes you're living with. So I'm going to launch that poll right now. There we go. And let's see, type 1, type 1.5, type 2, prediabetes, gestational diabetes, a loved one has diabetes, or maybe you're a healthcare provider and here to learn how you can help your patients and clients. So let us know, and we'll report the results in a moment here. Cyrus, your chair just looks like you're like sitting on the throne, man.
I know, it's funny. Ever since I switched over to this chair, people are like, whoa, what's happening over there? I actually had a chair that was taller, and I kind of looked like I was doing this. It was a little much, so I had to switch over to this chair. Here's my favorite thing, too. If you look closely, it looks like I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah. It's a good thing the fan is not on, because when it's on, it's a little, that's a unique hat. Yeah.
I'm gonna take my hat off.
That's great.
All right, in the poll today, looks like we got about almost 55% of you guys, 52% with prediabetes or type 2, and then about 12% of you with type 1 and 1.5, and then actually a fair number, 25% of you have with a loved one with diabetes, and about 10% of you as a healthcare provider. It's very interesting. So again, we're happy to have you guys here with us, and I don't know about you, Robbie. You want to just get into the meat of the
let's get started. Why don't you share your screen here to let you guys know we have Kylie Buckner, registered nurse and director of lifestyle education at Mastering Diabetes, in the chat box. So she'll be answering your questions, and she'll be compiling some for us to answer at the end as well. So we love hearing from you in the chat box.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Sure can. Looks good.
Okay, here we go. So today we're going to be talking about many things, but one of them is specifically 5 of nature's most antiviral foods that not only have antiviral viral properties, but many of them have antibacterial properties as well, and are also known to improve your metabolic function and can make you feel 5 years younger. It almost sounds like it's too good to be true. Like, how could foods actually do all of that? Well, you're about to learn. So strap on your seatbelt. Here's what we're going to cover today. 3 important topics. The first one is, what are viruses and how do they behave in your body? This is an important topic, especially in today's world, as the coronavirus has kind of taken over society. Number 2, we're going to talk about 5 powerful antiviral and anti-chronic disease foods that modern science is documented over and over again to be very, very powerful. And then we're going to talk about some stuff that we've never really talked about before, which are these at-home kitchen hacks that you can integrate to get even more power out of these 5 powerful antiviral types of foods. So we'll go into mad detail about all of this stuff today. And for those of you that are here with us today, we have an awesome offer for you guys at the end. There's a bonus offer that we've never offered before. And if you stay to the end, you get to see what that bonus offer is.
This is a very, very special one, Cyrus, that people have been asking us about. So
there you go.
Really, really excited.
Cool. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cyrus Kambata. I have a PhD in nutritional biochemistry. I did my undergraduate at Stanford University. I graduated in 2003. I then went to work for NASA for 2 years as an aerospace engineer. And in my previous life as an aerospace engineer, I thought that the work was cool and fun, but having been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at about the same time as I was moving from one phase of my life into the next phase of my life, I started to recognize that paying attention to health was actually very important. So I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes right here in between the 2 of these. And I went through a pretty long and challenging process to try and understand how to feel better, how to look better, how to have better blood glucose control, how to use less insulin, and how to just be a happier person. And in the process, I transitioned from a low carbohydrate diet to a low fat plant-based whole food diet. And it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. So in the process of transitioning from a low carbohydrate diet to a plant-based low fat diet, I was able to reduce my insulin use dramatically by as much as 40%. On a daily basis now, I can eat 700 grams of carbohydrate per day, which is more than your average person with diabetes would eat in a week. And I can do that using about 25 units of insulin per day, which is a very normal physiological amount of insulin that my pancreas would be secreting if I were non-diabetic. And my A1C values are consistently ranging in the non-diabetic range right here. So from a blood work perspective, doctors take a look at me and they say, wow, you don't even look like you have diabetes at all, which is a good feeling for sure. Having gone through this transition, I went to UC Berkeley. I studied there for 5 years to go get a PhD in nutritional biochemistry so that I could understand the ins and outs of what I experienced as a person. And in the process, I began to understand that there's actually a lot of research, almost 100 years worth of research, that clearly documents just how powerful a plant-based diet is for improving metabolic health. And you guys are going to learn some bits and pieces of that today. Just for full clarity here, I have a PhD in nutritional biochemistry. I'm not an immunologist, I'm not a virologist, and I don't pretend to be either one of these two because immunology is an incredibly complex subject. I am a nutritional biochemist, and I basically help people maximize their metabolic health and immune health using food as medicine. Okay, so we're going to be talking about things related to virology and things related to immunology today, but these are just sort of scratching the surface of these 2 very complex subjects for sure.
Okay, so my name is Robbie, and as you can see on the screen here, I enjoy eating fruit. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, just like Cyrus, when I was younger. I was 12, just about to turn 13. So I've been living with type 1 diabetes for 20 years now. And I tried many different diets over the years. My initial desire to really, really hone in on nutrition and try and change my future was to focus on how could I get my beta cells to work again. And how could I produce my own insulin once again? So that set me on a path to try a lot of different stuff. I tried the Weston A. Price Foundation diet. I tried a plant-based ketogenic diet, and nothing got me the amazing results like a low-fat plant-based whole food diet has. So I've been doing this now for over 13 years. And in that time, my A1C is consistently between 5.4% and 5.9%. And I eat well over 700 grams of carbohydrate per day, just like Cyrus, using around 27 units of insulin per day. Again, just like Cyrus said, that's a physiological normal amount, which is what you're looking for when you're living with insulin-dependent diabetes. You want to just add the insulin that you need to reach that physiological normal amount. And when I transitioned from a ketogenic diet to a low-fat plant-based whole food diet, I saw a 900% change in my insulin sensitivity, specifically my glucose tolerance. So how much glucose my body can take out of my bloodstream into my cells based on the insulin I'm injecting improved by 900%. And you're going to understand tonight a little bit of why that's important. I saw a lot of people talking in the chat box about our book, which we explained in our book. And a lot of people think when you eat carbohydrate-rich foods, you're going to need to use more insulin and your blood glucose is going to spike. You're going to see high readings. And I can verify through my own personal experience and a lot of research and a lot of other people's results that that's not true. So the time in range number of 90% shows that my blood glucose control is very good. It's within a normal range where it should be for a person living with type 1 over 90% of the day. Whereas the average type 1 is somewhere between 50% and 70% is the average. So we're doing exactly what you're told not to do and getting extraordinary results. And tonight you're going to learn about specific elements of this approach that's worked for us that actually help you feel younger and improve your innate immunity. So I'll let Cyrus take it from here.
All right. Nice work. All right. In case you guys have not checked it out, we wrote a book recently that came out in the middle of February. It's called Mastering Diabetes, and it actually became a New York Times bestseller, which is fantastic, and we're very happy about that. If you guys have not had a chance to get your hands on this book, we highly recommend it. We've been receiving a lot of feedback from people that the book is packed with a lot of science that's very easy to understand. And we hope that it helps change your life from the inside out. So here's the first question. What the heck are viruses and how do they behave in your body? Okay, viruses are pretty complex little entities. Okay, viruses are not alive, therefore I cannot refer to them as an organism. But you can think of a virus as basically being very simple. It's got two main components. Number one is the shell that you see on the outside. It's literally made up of protein. And then on the inside, it has genetic material. So the core is genetic, the outside is protein. And what viruses do is they require a host to replicate. Okay, a virus cannot replicate on its own, and therefore it has to basically infect a host, whether that host is a worm or a mouse or a chicken or a human, and then use that host's DNA replication machinery or RNA replication machinery in order to make copies of the genetic material. Okay, so inside of a virus can either exist RNA or DNA. DNA is double-stranded. It's sort of what makes the blueprints of your entire body and of all life on this planet. RNA is basically just a temporary photocopy of a specific segment of DNA. So you take the DNA, you make a tiny photocopy of a very specific segment called a gene, and then this RNA transcript is the photocopy that then is read by a different type of machinery that then goes on to make protein, and that protein can then do something inside of the organism. So the reason why this is important is because the coronavirus is actually an RNA virus, which makes it challenging because RNA viruses are very susceptible to mutations. And as a result of that, it makes it much harder to create a vaccine for something that's constantly changing. So the coronavirus, as an example, is an RNA virus. And the way that it works is it basically, it infects your body, or it infects a human body, we'll say, and it's looking for a sort of anchor protein to go attach to. So in a human being, the anchor protein is known as the ACE2 protein. And the ACE2 protein is a very specific protein that's found on the epithelial cells of your lung, your kidney, your intestine, and your blood vessels. So whichever tissue manufactures epithelial cells that have the ACE2 protein on them, that's where the coronavirus can go. So once the coronavirus attaches to this protein, what it does is it basically injects its genetic material into the cell in which it's docked. Once that genetic material gets inside of the cell, the RNA replication machinery inside of the cell then goes on to make photocopies of this RNA and then makes lots of new RNA. As a result of that, having new genetic material enables the virus to basically go on and make its own protein, which then once again creates its own viral particle, because again, viruses are protein plus DNA. So effectively, by using the host's photocopier, this genetic material can then go on to make more viral particles and spread and become a much bigger problem inside of your body. Okay? So the question really becomes, well, why is it that people with diabetes and hypertension are actually at a higher risk for complications from viral infection? Because that's what we're being told. That's what the CDC says. That's what the WHO says. And that's the sort of common rhetoric in the world of the coronavirus today. If you go to the CDC's website, this is what you'll see. That the people who are at the highest risk for complications from viral infection, especially from the coronavirus, are the following groups. Number one, people who are 65 years and older, because as you age, your immune system gets suppressed. Number two, people who are living with chronic lung disease or asthma, so people that have a pre-existing lung condition. Number three, people with pre-existing cardiovascular disease. Again, the ACE2 protein is highly expressed inside of blood vessels. Therefore, anybody with cardiovascular disease is at a higher risk for infection. Number four, people with severe obesity. Obesity is an inflammatory condition. When you have an inflammatory condition, you suppress your immune system. Number five, people living with any form of diabetes. That includes type 1, type 2, prediabetes, gestational diabetes, or type 1.5. Number six, people with chronic kidney disease. Okay, these are, again, people who have an advanced stage of chronic kidney disease, either stage 4 or stage 5, and especially those people who are on dialysis. And then number seven, people who have liver disease. Any form of liver disease, especially fatty liver disease, are at an increased risk for complications of coronavirus infection. Okay? So what we're trying to establish here is, if this is true, if any of these conditions that you see on the screen here are true, it's okay. It's not a doomsday scenario. If you're living with cardiovascular disease or diabetes or liver disease or chronic kidney disease, it's okay. But there are very specific steps you can take to improve your health and therefore reduce your risk of complications. So in the chat box, here's what I want to know. Tell me exactly which condition or conditions you are currently living with, okay? I don't refer, I mean, if you're 65 years or older, just write elderly, it's fine. It's not a health condition, but tell me what health conditions and or whether you are elderly, and let's see what we see.
Okay, let's see what's coming in the chat box. Somebody's asking, they're curious about cancer. Is cancer on this list?
According to the CDC's website, I don't believe cancer is on the list, but that is a great question.
Yeah. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of elderly, type 1, type 2, asthma. Interesting. Elderly. Somebody says they have lupus. Elderly. Plenty of type 1 diabetes here. Lots of type 2 for sure. LADA. 73 cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Asthma. Elderly.
Okay.
I mean, the chat box is flooding with people who have an answer, which means they're in the right place, Cyrus.
Okay. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So take a deep breath. And I don't want you to despair. I don't want you to get frustrated, because it's okay. You know what? I have diabetes. Robbie has diabetes. It's okay. We're going to teach you how you can minimize your risk despite the fact that you may be living with one or multiple of these conditions. Okay. High blood pressure, high blood glucose, both of them are inflammatory conditions. When you are living with either high blood pressure or high blood glucose, or both, blood vessels get inflamed. And inflammation inside of blood vessels causes inflammation inside of tissues, which reduces blood flow inside of tissues. So inflammation gets inside of all of these tissues because it's inside of your blood vessels. And as a result of that, there's literally less blood that's going to your kidney, your muscles, your liver, your brain, your heart, you name it. Because you have less blood flow, then these immune cells that you see right here on the screen with funny names like neutrophil, basophil, eosinophil, and so on and so forth, these very specific immune cells cannot get to the area in which the infection is present. So as a result of that, reduced blood flow reduces the ability of your immune system to literally get to the location of infection, which then suppresses your immune response. It reduces the ability of your own immune system to fight against a foreign pathogen. So diabetes and hypertension are literally just gateways. That's all they are. They're gateway drugs, if you will, to inflammation, reduced blood flow, and a reduced ability of immune cells to get to the site of infection. It's just that simple. Okay? So that's the stage. That's where we currently exist. Because again, you guys just told me that, most of you guys, 50, 60, 70, 90% of you guys are living with some type of inflammatory condition. Okay? And if that's the case, well, it turns out that you can literally just go to your kitchen to start reversing those inflammatory conditions. And this is why natural medicine is such a powerful, powerful subject, because the answer is not necessarily only in your pharmacy. The answer is literally in your fridge and on your countertop. So the first question people ask is, well, why does a plant-based diet actually boost your immune function? How can that even possibly be? And the reason is because plant-based foods are the most micronutrient-dense foods on the planet. Now, micronutrients are the keys to immunity. Okay, the keys to immunity are not in carbohydrate, fat, and protein. They're in vitamins, mineral, fiber, water, and antioxidants. Okay, these are 5 classes of micronutrients which are absolutely essential for optimal immune function. There's also a 6th class of phytochemicals, a 6th class of micronutrient called phytochemicals. And that micronutrient is, the term phyto means plant, the term chemical means compound. So these are plant-based, plant-derived compounds that simply don't exist in the animal world. And they play a role in the growth and defense of human cells against things like pathogens, predators, chronic diseases, infectious diseases, viruses, bacteria, parasites, and more. So phytochemicals are really an incredibly powerful collection of compounds that are present only in plant material. So these phytochemicals include the chemicals you see on the screen here. They all have a bunch of funny names like sulforaphane and caffeic acid and phenylethyl ester. Don't worry, there's not going to be on the quiz. But what I do want you guys to understand is that modern science is doing its best to try and understand what these phytochemicals are, how they function, and what they do inside of foods. And you might be led to believe like, oh, green tea has 1 phytochemical. Grapes have 1 phytochemical. The answer is no. Each one of the foods you see on the screen here literally has thousands of different species of phytochemicals. And humans are trying to understand what those are. We have identified and isolated a few compounds from each one of these foods, but we know just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. And the ones that we have found do all of this stuff here on the left-hand side. Okay? They're everything from insect repellent, I kid you not, to tumor growth inhibitors, to compounds that vasodilate or reduce your blood pressure. They're antithrombotic, they're antimicrobial, they're antiviral. They improve your immune function. They reduce your cholesterol level. They reduce your blood glucose. They're unbelievable. And so it's really important to get these into your diet, not only every day, but literally, I kid you not, with every single bite of food that you take. Antioxidants are a group of phytochemicals, or a subgroup of phytochemicals. These phytochemicals have, again, very, very particular names. They're nitrogen-containing, they're organosulfur compounds, they're alkaloids, they're carotenoids, and they're phenolics. So again, you're not going to be quizzed on these, but just know that phytochemicals are an incredibly powerful group of compounds that are essential in boosting your immune function. Now, I told you at the beginning that we're going to be going through 5 classes of foods, or 5 specific foods that have antiviral activity. So please write this down. Literally get out a pen and a piece of paper and write this down, because these foods, I can almost guarantee you, are either in your kitchen right now or they're at the grocery store and they're waiting for you to pick them up. All right? The first one are onions and garlic. In the chat box, I want you to tell me, do you like eating onions and or garlic? Just write the word yes if you like it. Write the word no if you don't. Okay?
Okay, let's see what comes in. I can tell you what my answer is. Let's see what we got.
Your answer is yes, right?
Absolutely. I got all caps yes. I'm getting a lot of yeses. Wow, a flood of yeses. I don't think I've seen a single no. I think I just saw one no. Like, it's going so fast, it's like Niagara Falls, Cyrus.
Okay. So there's a couple people that say no, but for the most part, I'm preaching to the choir. Okay. If you like onions and garlic, you're going to be very happy. Onions and garlic contain organosulfur compounds. One of them in particular is called allicin. Okay. And allicin is an incredibly powerful compound that's got a lot of research behind it. Allicin has been documented over and over and over again to have very specific anti-infectious disease properties, antiviral properties. And one of the things that this class of compounds does is it boosts the function of your own antioxidant enzymes. So truth be told, you actually manufacture your own antioxidants, and they're inside of every single tissue. And they have these funny names here, like glutathione peroxidase or cytochrome P450 or superoxide dismutase. Again, you're not going to be quizzed. But the idea here is that these guys are master antioxidant enzymes that you manufacture. And what happens is that when these organosulfur compounds get inside of your body, these organosulfur compounds can actually increase the function of your own antioxidant enzymes. And that's a really good thing. So eat these every single day. Okay? Not only when the coronavirus is around. Eat them every day, period, end of story. You don't need much. You need like a clove of garlic, maybe even half a clove of garlic, or maybe just a few slices of onions. That's it. That's all you need. Get it in there consistently. Number 2, green tea. Green tea is one of my absolute favorite foods. The number of positive anti-infectious disease and anti-chronic disease effects that green tea has is mind-boggling. It's almost, I kid you not, when I read about green tea, I almost think that green tea is too good to be true. One of the classes of compounds inside of green tea leaves are called catechins. And one of the antioxidant compounds that is a catechin is known as EGCG. It's one of the most powerful catechins, and it is an incredibly powerful antioxidant compound. And what that means is that when you consume green tea, not only are you getting EGCG, you're getting literally thousands of other beneficial, powerful phytochemicals that have a seemingly endless list of beneficial effects. Like number 1, vasodilation, reducing blood pressure. Number 2, reducing blood glucose. Number 3, enhancing cognitive power, increasing the ability of your brain to function. Number 4, increasing blood flow to your brain. Number 5, increasing sexual function. Number 6, being anti-carcinogenic. Okay, there are studies that actually demonstrate that when you consume green tea, it actually helps reduce the onset of cancer and kill existing cancer cells. So if you can get this stuff into your body on a daily basis, it also has powerful, powerful immune modulating or immune boosting properties. And I'm a huge fan of this stuff. So if you don't already have it, go grab some and start drinking at least 1 glass per day. Number 3, ginger. Ginger is one of the cheapest and most powerful immune modulating foods that you can get in the grocery store today. Okay, this stuff, again, a piece of ginger this big probably costs you like 37 cents. It's available everywhere. If you can get it organic, cool. If not, don't worry about it, but do your best to get it organic, okay? There's actually a number of studies that show that ginger is especially effective in not only fighting against infectious disease, but specifically, interestingly, respiratory infections. How interesting. The coronavirus is a SARS-CoV-2. It's a severe, acute respiratory syndrome. Okay, it's a respiratory virus. So when you put ginger in your mouth, this has not been proven by science, but a lot of people believe that when you consume ginger, because it has respiratory effects, it can actually neutralize or maybe reduce the inflammatory nature of respiratory infection. Number 4, this is a different one that we've never really talked about in detail. Adzuki beans. Write this one down. What the heck are adzuki beans and why are they so important? Okay, adzuki beans are a type of legume. Legumes are a class of foods that are either beans, peas, or lentils. The reason why adzuki beans are a powerful immune modulating, powerful immune boosting food is because not only are adzuki beans just flat out tasty and they give you a decent number of calories and keep you full, but adzuki beans are a zinc powerhouse. You guys have probably read online that zinc is an important compound to be adding to your diet or supplementing with in order to boost your immune function. It is a true statement. Zinc has a very powerful immune boosting activity. But when you consume zinc from a pill or from a medicine drop or from a tincture, it may not have nearly the power that it does when it comes inside of whole foods. So adzuki beans are one of the foods that are very rich in zinc, and it's very rich in a specific, and it's very rich in bioavailable zinc. And as a result of that, consuming adzuki beans on a somewhat daily and or weekly basis is a powerful way to boost your own immune function. Number 5, you may or may not have heard of black cumin seeds before. Black cumin seeds are a very, very powerful form of medicine that has been written about extensively. Dr. Gregory even covered this in his book, How Not to Diet. He talked about the specific weight loss properties that black cumin seeds can promote in regulating your appetite, as well as many other anti-inflammatory properties that they have. Now, black cumin seeds have extremely powerful anti-inflammatory effects and immune modulatory effects, meaning that they can boost your immune function. And I took this one quote from a paper that says, immune system modulation, or the ability to control your immune system, is one of the most important properties of black cumin seeds. And a number of studies have been done in order to prove this significant effect. So if you can get your hands on some black cumin seeds, either via Amazon or at your local grocery store, I highly recommend it. A small amount of the stuff, like, less than a teaspoon a day, goes a very, very long way. Okay, now I'm going to give you 2 different bonus foods, which are just yours for funsies. Okay, the first one are cruciferous vegetables. Why are these guys so powerful? Well, they're powerful because they have documented known immune boosting effects. And they are also the most powerful anti-cancer foods ever discovered. So this class of cruciferous vegetables includes all of the ones you see on the screen: cauliflower, broccoli, collard greens, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, arugula. Okay, these foods are very, very tasty in my personal opinion, and you can get them into your diet very easily and for not much money. So if these aren't already part of your diet, at least on a daily basis, please start adding them, because not only are they anti-carcinogenic, they are anti-inflammatory. And whenever you reduce inflammation, you boost immune function. Number 7, amla berries. We talk extensively about amla, Indian gooseberries, because it is literally the single most powerful antioxidant containing food on the planet. There's nothing that has a higher antioxidant capacity or higher antioxidant content than amla berries. The problem is that these things taste like junk. They're very sour, hard to get your hands on, and and it's challenging to get a good quality Amla product. So we actually created a tea, and the tea is called Amla Green. And you can buy Amla Green on Amazon, or you can go to amlagreen.com and get your hands on this stuff. And we highly recommend it because not only is it an extremely powerful anti-inflammatory, but in Ayurvedic medicine, they've been using this for not only hundreds, but thousands of years. And they have documented that when you add amla berries to your diet, it can help in reducing the effects of many chronic diseases and many infectious diseases at the same time. So if this stuff isn't in your diet on a daily basis, I highly recommend it. Amla berries, coincidentally, are also the single most powerful cholesterol reducing food ever discovered, and a very powerful blood pressure and blood glucose reducer at the same time. So long story short, get yourself some of this stuff in your diet. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Now, the last thing I told you guys I was going to tell you tonight is simple things that you can do at home to make sure that the foods that you're eating have very powerful antiviral effects. So the question really becomes, well, what can you do with this information to boost your immunity? Okay, here's some pro tips for you. Please write these things down. Number one, soak your beans. What do I mean by that? Well, we talked about adzuki beans, okay? We also didn't talk about black beans or red beans or navy beans or garbanzo beans or any other number of beans, okay? But regardless of the type of bean or the type of legume you're eating, do your best to soak those beans overnight before you cook them. Because when you do, what you're gonna do is reduce what's called their phytate content. And phytates are a type of what's considered an anti-nutrient, or a nutrient that blocks the absorption of many powerful phytochemicals. Phytate in particular blocks the absorption of zinc. So if you soak your beans overnight, then you actually reduce the phytate content, which boosts the zinc absorbability. And as a result of that, you get more zinc per bite. So it's a simple thing that you can do, especially if you're integrating adzuki beans into your diet. Number two, eat vitamin C in food. Try not to take vitamin C supplements, but instead eat foods that are rich in vitamin C, because vitamin C in food is much more powerful than vitamin C from a pill. The RDA for vitamin C, or the recommended daily allowance, is between 75 and 90 milligrams for an adult on a daily basis. Vitamin C from food is way more powerful than vitamin C from a synthetic drug or a synthetic supplement. So go do it when you're eating, or get vitamin C from food. Now, vitamin C can boost your innate immunity, which is your sort of general non-specific defense mechanisms, and it can also boost your adaptive immunity at the same time. Your adaptive immunity being the type of immunity that's very specific to particular types of viruses and particular types of bacteria. So whether your immune system is involved in fighting influenza or the chickenpox or HIV or the coronavirus, okay, every single one of those adaptive immune responses is very specific to that pathogen. And vitamin C can help boost not only your adaptive function, but also your general non-specific defenses. And who doesn't want that? Vitamin C is not only found in citrus, which most people say, oh, vitamin C, great, I'm just gonna go eat some oranges. Fine, eat some oranges, I got no problem. But there's also another collection of foods that are very high in vitamin C, which most people don't know about. And they include the ones you see on the screen here. Sweet yellow peppers, very high in vitamin C. Kale, kiwis, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and papaya. I put an exclamation point because I love papaya and I eat that stuff on a daily basis, okay? When you have approximately 1 cup of every single one of these, you're gonna meet the RDA right there. You're gonna get approximately 100 milligrams of vitamin C. So do your best to just have approximately 1 cup of at least one of these on a daily basis, and that's gonna give you plenty of vitamin C to meet your daily requirements. Number 3, chop and stop. This is brought to us by Dr. Will Buskowitz, author of the book Fiber Fueled. He's an absolutely brilliant gastroenterologist, and he taught us this thing called chop and stop. when you eat onions and when you eat garlic, what you want to do is cut that stuff on your cutting board and get it all diced up properly. As soon as it's diced up, I want you to set a timer for 10 minutes and walk away and go do something else. Okay, let that stuff sit on your cutting board for 10 minutes. Don't touch it, don't do anything to it. When it is sitting on the cutting board for 10 minutes, after it's been chopped, the allicin and other organosulfur compounds become active. And when they become active, then that's when they become potent. So if you wait for 10 minutes and then you either cook them or then you eat them, now you're activating the organosulfur compounds and they're going to have a much more powerful effect inside of your body. You can cut them and then just eat them right away, or cut them and then cook them. It's just not going to be as powerful. So chop and stop whenever possible, and that's going to help you out big time. And then at-home hack number 4, this is the final one. Eat your cruciferous vegetables raw. Eat them as raw as possible. The reason for that is because they have very powerful antiviral and anti-cancer compounds in them, and those antiviral and anti-cancer compounds are susceptible to heat. So if you can try and eat them as raw as possible, you're going to maximize their effects. And as a result of that, you're going to get more bang for your buck. And every time you open your mouth and put one bite of these anti-cancer foods into your mouth or antiviral foods into your mouth, you're going to get more power. So you want more absorbable, more bioavailable, more powerful compounds. And that's a simple thing that you could do to make sure that your cruciferous vegetables go a long way. So I hope that was helpful. Was that helpful, Robbie?
It's very helpful, Cyrus. A lot of powerful information here.
Okay.
A lot of, like what you said, it's actionable, and these are ingredients that people have access to for sure. They're easy to obtain, and these hacks anybody can do and can make a big difference.
Well, that's the whole, exactly right. That's the whole point, is that, you don't have to do things that are so crazy, and you don't have to like go out and buy these very specific foods that you can only find on Amazon and blah, 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 right? These are like the simplest strategies that exist all around you. And all you got to do is just make sure they're in your diet and that you're eating them the right way. And as a result of that, you're set.
Absolutely. So now we have an important question, Cyrus.
There it is.
Let us know in the chat box.
Here's the question. Do you guys want to know how we've helped more than 3,000 people do multiple things at the same time? Number 1, reverse insulin resistance. That's our bread and butter. But number 2, boost your innate immunity. Number 3, lose weight permanently. And number 4, reduce chronic disease risk. The reason I ask this question is because we have a very powerful system which has shown over and over and over again and has been proven not only in our approach coaching program, but through evidence-based science, that all of these and more unfold. So if you're interested in learning about that, you just let us know, because we love to talk about it. And we want to show you guys how you can take this information and not only boost your immunity, but also get incredible metabolic benefit as well.
I'm already seeing a lot of yeses coming through. Yeses with exclamation points.
Lots of yeses. You know what? I want to see the screen. I want to see the chat box. Where are we at?
Yes. Milani, Janet and Stanley. Brendan, yes.
Cool.
Wendy, yes. Okay, there we go. Let's do it.
That's great. Okay. So
I'm gonna share my screen.
How we can make this happen.
All right, let's see here. Hide this. And then we'll play it from the start. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we got you. Looks great.
Go. All right, so just like Cyrus said, we have a method. And we have then compiled it into a coaching program that's designed to do everything you saw on the screen there, including maximizing your insulin sensitivity. We're going to go into that. What do you get to eat beyond just the 7 different foods that were categories of food that we covered? Like, you get to eat a wide range of plants. They're colorful. They are delicious. They're satisfying. And foods that a lot of people have been told to avoid. And we've made it really simple and easy to understand what to actually put on your plate. Because in this day and age, it's confusing. There's green light foods, yellow light foods, and red light foods. Green light means eat as much as you want when you're hungry until you're satisfied. Fruits, that's papaya, like Cyrus said, for vitamin C. kiwis, mangoes, bananas, Asian pears, cherries are coming into season, mulberries are coming into season, peaches, nectarines. The list of fruits is long. Starchy vegetables, potatoes, yams, butternut squash. Then you're going to get into things like non-starchy vegetables. That would be like cabbage. That would be bell peppers. Okay, beans, lentils, and peas. You know about those, and zucchini beans for sure. Green leafy vegetables like arugula. You saw that in the cruciferous vegetables category. Intact whole grains. That's millet, quinoa, farro, herbs and spices, mushrooms. Literally eat those in abundance as much as you want. All right. Yellow light foods. This is where you got to be careful in order to maximize your insulin sensitivity, reduce your chronic disease risk, and increase your immunity by not overburdening your system with too much fat. Nuts, seeds, avocados, coconuts, olives, those are all whole plant foods. They're full of nutrients, full of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, but they also have a large amount of fat. And that can be problematic when you are trying to reverse insulin resistance, say goodbye to prediabetes, say goodbye to type 2 diabetes, lower your blood pressure. These foods, you got to be cognizant of how much you're having. Pastas, breads, these are a little bit more processed. And when you're eating bread, it makes it much more difficult to lose weight and reach your ideal body weight. So you want to be careful with breads. It's better to eat simply whatever the bread was made out of. Eating whole millet is going to be better than millet bread. Eating brown rice is going to be a little bit better than brown rice pasta. The yellow light category, these are foods you're going to want to minimize or completely eliminate. And here we have animal products, which are going to be problematic when it comes to inflammation. And Cyrus talked earlier about the importance of eating an anti-inflammatory diet in order to allow your immune system to do its job and protect yourself from viruses and bacteria. Oils of any kind are in the red light category because they're a very highly processed food that contains nothing but fat. They've removed the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, carbohydrate, protein. You're left with just fat. It's better to eat the whole food. If you want some olives, eat some olives rather than olive oil. Coconut meat's going to be great in small amounts. Avoid the coconut oil. So it's a very simple problem to solve. Refined sugars, and this is going to include, the red light category includes processed vegan food as well. So pastries, breads, and processed foods. These are the types of meals you get to eat, literally, as much as you want, okay? And you got soups here, you got stews, you got a loaded sweet potato. It's really, really delicious stuff. And we encourage you to eat large amounts of fruit, which again is quite different than what you hear from most people trying to teach you how to reverse type 2 diabetes and prediabetes and lose weight. Eat fruit. It works. So how does this coaching program work? We give you 3 powerful tools. Number 1, an online course teaching you exactly what action steps to take, one step at a time. Lifestyle change can be overwhelming. We know that. So we've put it all in a format that is digestible and doesn't take you all day long to get through it. Then we have a private online community. We're going to go through that in detail. And we do video conferencing. You have different levels of video conferencing depending on the support that you're looking for. So our online course is, again, designed to guide you through this process one step at a time. You cannot change everything overnight. It becomes overwhelming. So we've put it into different modules here. You start out with breakfast, you set your goals, you learn some of the science, you move on to lunch, you're going to learn more about calorie density. This is only moving as you're ready, as you've mastered the steps. So at the end of each lesson, it gives you a checklist. Did you master the checklist? Boom, go to the next one. Did you master that checklist? Go to the next one. You learn about cleaning out your pantry as you get through the program and you're getting more and more of your meals being plant-based. Learn about intermittent fasting, which is really important. Those using insulin, since Cyrus and I are both living with type 1, we have a lot of knowledge there to help you navigate insulin challenges when adjusting your diet. Fitness is important. We go into that, making it actually easy to do and fun. That's really important. Then buying food. How can you save a bunch of money? How can you prepare food in bulk? We go through all those details. And sooner rather than later, we all will be social again. And we will have to navigate social situations, which happen to be one of the biggest challenges on this program. And we have a whole bunch of lessons in there to master that. Now, our private community is one of our favorite parts. And Cyrus and I talk about this a lot, where when we first launched our coaching program, we didn't fully understand how important the community was until we saw it in action. And so we've brought in a team of experts now that help us coach the people in our coaching program. Kylie, is in the chat box right now. She has over 20 years of experience. Adam and Mark both reversed type 2 diabetes. Adam lost over 200 pounds, stopped taking a whole laundry list of medications, including diabetes medications, blood pressure medications, depression medications, ADHD medications, had an amazing transformation. Mark Ramirez, he lost over 50 pounds, stopped taking insulin, stopped taking high blood pressure medication, absolutely turned his life around. So you get a lot of coaches with experience. And we answer a wide range of questions. There is no question that's off limits. We want you to ask anything and everything that comes up. And our team will answer your questions within 24 hours. And before that, you get an answer right away from many members in the coaching program, which is also really, really valuable. So we actually just recently, I took the screenshot today, 4 days ago, somebody was asking in another Facebook group we have, say, hey, is anybody joining the coaching program? Like, what do you think? Should I join this? And we had so much wonderful responses in there. Really was quite heartwarming. And this person is saying it helped them tremendously. So many people, they bought our book, they bought the DIY program, and they're learning, but they just sort of need that extra boost. They need the accountability. There's some specific questions they want answered. And that's what our coaching program is designed for. So this person joined small group coaching and got a lot of benefit. This person says how the group is supportive, okay? There's not negativity. This is a very curated, safe environment to share your challenges so you can learn how to overcome them and get that support. It's so, so important. And here we have somebody saying, like, look, I've been there for over a year. It's super supportive. And it's really great to see these comments. This post just came in today as well. This is a woman who went through our coaching program. And it's really fun to see, as our book has come out, we have gotten to reconnect with a lot of clients we've worked with many, many years ago. And they're like, hey, now this book is out. I want to share my story and give this book to my doctor or my friends now that I can just give them the program and all that. And so this woman was in our program many years ago. And it's so great to see how our approach of being a long-term solution, this is the last dietary change, lifestyle change you need to make. This is it. This works. And we're all about teaching how to make it work in the long term. So she had an amazing turnaround. She lost 80 pounds. A1C went from 9.1 to 6.0, and her fasting blood glucose has dropped, and she is just loving life. So part of our coaching system is live interactions. Live interactions are really important. So in our signature coaching program, we do twice monthly live video conferences, and we also include small group coaching. So I actually was just on a small group coaching call last night, and it was really, really fun. So good to connect with people. That was the insulin dependent call. A woman has been in there since January. She lost 21 pounds. She's eating 4 times more carbohydrate and using less insulin. And there were a bunch of other people sharing their success stories. But this is a great, great opportunity to have direct access to your coaches. It's actually our most popular program right now. And for people who want private coaching, they just want to talk to their coach, we have that option as well. So you get a 30-minute call with your private coach, you text with your private coach throughout the week, and you can just get that time dedicated to you. Now, as you guys know on these webinars, first off, the coaching program is closed, which you're going to learn about in a little bit, but you guys are getting a special opportunity to join. We're throwing in some bonuses. We know things are a little tough right now. We want to get people as much as we possibly can here. You now have an opportunity to get the entire 2020 summit for free, plus over $3,000 in bonuses, which come along with that, including our Meet the Mastering Diabetes Team mini course, which was super fun. You get some background information on all of us. I think we covered some things that you maybe haven't heard us say in other places, which is really fun. And getting to know Kylie, Adam, and Mark, and a lot of their tricks has been really, really good. We got a lot of feedback on this. So that's included. Then we have the insulin resistance checklist. We give you a toolkit for how to communicate with your doctor. That is priceless in and of itself. A lot of questions about the ketogenic diet. You get that bonus. Learning about the world's top antioxidants, how you can get them into your diet and why that matters. We have a breakfast challenge, and the whole course has tons of recipes. Starting with self-love is a great bonus. We have Dr. Furman included a bonus for us. There's a lot of good information in that one. There's a healing path course, which you can access. Really, really important stuff for viruses. You do not want to miss that material. 7-day rescue comes with a bunch of recipes. We have a calorie density course, a little mini course. We're going to learn about why you can eat more and weigh less and what specific foods to eat more of in order to speed up your weight loss if you want to do that. The 2020 summit, we covered so much amazing information. It was our best summit yet. Are the foods you're eating making you more or less diabetic over time? And the experts that we have here are just true legends. New York Times bestselling authors, top researchers funded by NIH and many high-profile organizations published in the world's top journals. That shares eyes right there. We talked about how you can lose weight permanently without feeling deprived. And Dr. Greger just came out with that brand new book, How Not to Diet, which was all about helping you lose weight. I talked a little bit about the calorie density, eating carbohydrate-rich foods. Chef AJ, she's a real expert when it comes to weight loss. We talked about the ketogenic diet, short-term versus long-term. You got Cyrus in there, Dr. Joel Kahn. Brenda Davis is literally like an encyclopedia. You guys will love that interview. Chris Wark, he was a fascinating interview this year, talking about cancer. That's a big one. How to build daily habits that will help you crush chronic disease and avoid pharmaceutical medications. How you can get off of pharmaceutical medications that you don't need. Okay, that was important. Gut health, Dr. Will Bulskowitz, author of Fiber Fueled. Angie's an incredible doctor. We've actually had so many of our clients work with her and get an incredible turnaround. And gut health is a confusing topic, which we will set straight with these interviews. Then we have, this is important for right now, reducing inflammation. Ari Witten was a new guest this year. And he dropped some really fascinating information. We were blown away by that interview. Dr. Regdina, as always, gives great information. And a lot of you were asking in the chat box tonight about like raw foods versus cooked foods. He goes into that also. Fascinating information. Lori Marbus. Then we have Ocean Robbins, Susan Pierce Thompson, John Mackey, the CEO of Whole Foods. I mean, this summit was just, it's in and of itself, it's worth what you're going to have to pay tonight. It's unbelievable. So Kylie Buckner, Gemma Newman, we're talking about women's health here. There's a lot of women's health issues talking about on this day. Susan Levin, really important, life-changing information. I kid you not. We get so much incredible feedback from these summits, and you're going to get that as a free bonus tonight. We did flashbacks with some of our most popular interviews. Dustin Williams talking about diabetes medications. What are they doing in your body? And how can you begin to transform from the inside out where you can reduce them and eliminate them? That was fascinating. Rob Osfeld, Michelle McMacken, talking about the ketogenic diet, putting a lot of evidence-based research out there. Just blown away stuff. Now, that's not it. We're also going to throw in the Ultimate Nutrition and Recipe Guide as a bonus for you guys on the webinar tonight. This is something that our team has put their heart and soul into. This is a very thorough guide. It's such a great addition to everything that we've put together here. And it goes into a lot of the science and a lot of interesting facts about why you want to eat these specific foods and what you can do to maximize your metabolic health. The recipes are just outrageous, okay? This stuff is delicious. That's the whole fun part about the Mastering Diabetes method, is this is not a sacrifice. The foods you get to eat are just really good. All right? So, okay, what is this whole thing going to cost? I gave you all the bonuses. If you put this all together, online course valued at $1,200, the Facebook community where you are getting access to our coaches every single day. Like the more you write, the better, okay? We're there for you every day. That's $1,000. We're adding new bonus content, recipes, lives. We have challenges, group events, all that stuff. $1,500. The video conferences with our coaching team is valued at $1,200. Add this all up, we're talking about almost $5,000, okay? The good news is you're not going to have to pay anywhere near that. But the best news is, again, like I said in the beginning, people have been asking us for this. When can I get in? When can I get in? We are opening the wait list for you guys temporarily, okay? So if you want to feel 5 years younger, you want to get started, now is your opportunity. You're on this webinar. You get the opportunity to take action, okay? And you're going to get all the bonuses that we just went over. So as always, we have a guarantee, guys. If this doesn't work, you get your money back. We don't want to keep your money if it's not working, and that doesn't happen. So it's really a risk-free opportunity. And like I said, we have different levels. So you get to decide how much you want to invest and how much support you're looking for. So you can start for as little as $99. You can get started. You have access to everything we just covered, and you get over $3,000 in bonuses. Our best value, the most popular option right now is small group coaching, that private attention where you and a coach, it's like no more than, I would say, 8 to 10 or so people. And you really get to know each other, and you really get to know your coach. And it's a loads of fun. We also have different times for international people. So you can basically get on a call with a coach no matter where you live in the world. And private coaching, you pick a private, you obviously get to pick a time that works for you with you and your coach. And that's a fantastic option. So any one of these, you join, you get all these bonuses, and you can get started today. So I really, really hope you guys take advantage of this opportunity. It's, again, available for a limited time, and we've thrown in a lot of bonuses, and we really want to make this affordable. So you join the program, you get started, you use it for as long as you need it to achieve your goals. That's the whole point. You come in, you do some goal setting, and that's what we're here to do. We're not the food police. It's not going to be like a overwhelming challenge. Like we've made it fun, enjoyable, easy, and there's just really no reason not to get started.
I love it. There's a ton of questions that's been happening here over the course of the entire webinar. But just like Robbie was saying, the coaching program is really something that we've put our heart and soul into every single day. And the stories, Robbie, the stories that we get from people. I mean, you just showed some testimonials that's honestly just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's new testimonials that are coming every single day. And it really just makes this whole process very worthwhile and very fun.
Absolutely. There's no question.
It's fantastic. Okay, so let's get to a bunch of questions that came in while you guys, or during the webinar, and then also while you were talking. Funny enough, there are literally like 7 questions specifically about Amla Green. I was not expecting, but this is awesome. First question comes from KA. It says, does Amla Green count as your daily serving of green tea? The answer is yes, it does. So in the Amla Green bottle, you basically, there's a scooper. It's a small scooper, very small scooper. So you just take out 1 scoop, you add it to hot water, vinegar, a smoothie, a soup, it doesn't really matter. You put it into something. That is equivalent to 4,000 milligrams of Amla berries. Okay, so we give you a very highly concentrated, potent extract of Amla. And that extract is has the equivalent power of 4,000 milligrams of Amla berries, which in the research is actually shown to be very powerful at reducing blood glucose and cholesterol at the same time. So the answer to your question is, does that also count as my serving of green tea? And the answer is yes. If you want to have another glass of green tea on top of that, by all means, go for it. You almost can't have too much green tea. You really can't. But if you didn't have extra green tea, then that would be plenty. Second question is Amla powder as powerful as the actual berry? The answer is it depends on which Amla powder you get. So if you get the Amla Green powder, like we were talking about, again, it's equal to 4,000 milligrams, which is approximately 3 to 4 berries. And that is a very powerful dose, which has a lot of the powerful effects. Sophia says, my Amla Green became hard as a rock when I had half of a can left. Can this be fixed? So the answer is, Sophia, sincere apologies about that. Oftentimes, if you keep it in the fridge, you keep it in a not so moist environment, it will actually preserve its shelf life. Do us a favor, just write an email to support@amlagreen.com and explain, and we'll see if we can help you out. Chris says, Amla Green doesn't seem to be a whole food, but highly processed. Okay, so Chris, let me back up here for a second. Amla Green is not a highly processed food. Is it a whole food? The answer is no, it's not a whole food, because we can't package the whole Amla berry and stick it into a container and send it to you. We chose not to do that because Amla berries are so sour that you would open the package, you'd eat an Amla berry, and you would never taste it again. So what we did in order to make it palatable and make it something that you could actually eat and enjoy was we had to mix it with something else. So we mixed it with oolong dark green tea in a very specific strain and a very specific quantity. And as a result of that, the taste gets neutralized. So that's our version of umma powder. So technically speaking, no, it's not a whole food, but it's as close to a whole food as you can possibly be, because the only thing that's happened to it is been dehydrated. That's it. That's literally all that's happened. Okay, it's been dehydrated and ground into a powder, but it's the goal is to preserve as much nutrient density as possible. And we can't be 100% certain that we've preserved all the nutrients. It's obviously not the truth, but the answer is it's very powerful. It still has a lot of powerful metabolic effects. And people are writing to us on the daily saying, glucose down, blood pressure down, cholesterol down, feel better, have more energy. I'm in. Andy writes a question. It says, how can doctors like Jason Fung also claim that a low carb and ketogenic diet is good? Andy, very good question. People in the low carbohydrate world get great results because what they do is they teach people how to lower their carbohydrate intake. And as a result of lowering their carbohydrate intake, they just flatline their blood glucose effectively. So as far as improving your blood glucose control, sure, a low carbohydrate diet will get you there. It'll also help you lose weight. It'll also help you reduce your total cholesterol level and your blood pressure. All those results happen. The reason they happen is because a low carbohydrate / ketogenic diet is oftentimes a much cleaner diet than a person would otherwise be eating if they're eating a standard American or processed diet. So it's a significant improvement upon their previous diet. But in addition to that, they also end up calorie restricting without even knowing it. Because these foods are so calorie dense that they send a signal to your brain to stop eating. And as a result, many people become calorie restricted, which then creates weight loss, which then creates a number of improved metabolic effects. If you look at the research, what you'll find is that intermittent fasting and a ketogenic diet, just like Fung promotes, is very powerful, but it's a short-term solution. And in the long term, if you go out beyond a year or 2 years, the data shows that people who are eating ketogenic diets are at a higher risk for the development of many cancers. They have a higher blood pressure than their control counterparts. They also are significantly more insulin resistant. They have higher fasting blood glucose values. They have higher fasting insulin levels, and they have higher C-reactive protein levels. All of those things are indicators of a baseline metabolic inflammation. And unless you're testing for them regularly, you won't see them. So many people just say, oh, look, I'm losing weight and my blood glucose is going down. Great, things are moving in the right direction. But I'm saying, yes, we can get all of those results and more by consuming a plant-rich diet that's low in fat. And when you do that, you get short-term benefit plus ample long-term benefit that actually lowers your chronic disease risk as a whole. And the combination of the two of those is something that no other form of nutrition can get you. Okay. Virginia says, are vitamins necessary on the Mastering Diabetes method? And the answer to you, Virginia, is no. In very, very isolated specific situations, if you have a mineral or vitamin deficiency, then we recommend consuming a supplement. But these vitamin and mineral deficiencies are very rare. And when you're consuming a plant-rich diet that is micronutrient rich, oftentimes your vitamin and mineral status becomes so high that supplementation is just absolutely not necessary. So we don't advocate consuming vitamins, synthetic vitamins or synthetic minerals. But again, there are specific situations in which it might be necessary. But overall, don't think about it as a diet that's deficient in either vitamins or minerals, because this is actually the most powerful nutrient-dense diet that exists. And if you're not going to get it from a whole food plant-based diet, then I don't know where else you get it from. There's another question coming in. It says, can you show us your little squeaky kitten? Kai Kai, can you bring us the Pinky? Can you bring Pinky here? So somebody asked a question. I think they might have seen on Facebook. We are now fostering. Oh, we're fostering a little baby kitten.
She's sleeping. Oh, she's squeaking.
She's squeaking. She's adorable. For those of you that like kittens, look at her.
Oh my gosh.
But goodness, it's just unbelievable.
I think
she's
we
3 weeks old.
woke her up from a nap.
Oh yeah.
but she's one of the cutest little things we've ever seen before.
Oh yeah.
And she wanted to make an appearance on today's webinar, so
She
thank you
did.
for asking.
She likes to be on TV.
Love
Clearly.
you.
Pinky is made for TV.
She sure is.
She really is.
Aw,
She's the cutest. She's so cute. I can't get
oh
enough
my
of this little
Lord.
kid.
Look at the tail. She's really sleepy. Tipple, tipple.
Normally
There's
she's
more
very
fun.
squeaky.
There's more fun.
All right, there's the kitten. All right, what are the questions you see in the chat box, Robbie?
It's funny as somebody was joking about how sour amla is, the amla berries, like in general. That's why we had to make the tea.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's funny how some of the most medicinal plants do have that tendency to be ridiculously sour and hard to consume sometimes.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a funny observation that I've had is that some of the world's most powerful plants are some of the ones that are the hardest to put down. They're either extremely sour or they're extremely bitter, like extremely bitter, or they have a really funky gel-like mucousy texture. And those are the foods that actually get very powerful, or they create very powerful effects. And amla is definitely one of those for sure.
Totally. Okay, let's see what other questions have come in. I think we got them all.
What's that? Oh, there's questions in the Q&A section.
Somebody's asking, does the hibiscus version of amla tea count as green tea? The answer to that would be no, but it's equally, I would say it's equally as powerful. That's for sure. You also get some benefits of the cinnamon and ginger, which has been added to that option. The amla hibiscus is my personal favorite.
It's very tasty, extremely tasty.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people with hands up. I don't know how to answer these hands. Do you know? Look at the very bottom, if there's a hand raising thing with a red dot. So
I think if you accept their hand, I don't know what happens if you accept it.
do it. It just disappears. Strange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they waved to us and we waved back.
Okay. Robin asked for a question. She says, Costa Rica retreat. I thought Robbie said on the April webinar that you had one in SoCal recently. Can you update us on that? Okay. Robin, the answer is we had planned to have an in-person retreat here in Costa Rica at the end of June, but because of the coronavirus, we had no choice but to cancel it. So the in-person Costa Rica retreat in June is not happening. However, we are in the process of creating a virtual retreat experience. The virtual retreat experience is going to be very, very powerful and extremely fun. So I'm not going to give any details about that yet, but be on the lookout. Please check your email over the course of the next few weeks. We're going to be talking about a way that we can mimic an in-person retreat, but we're going to be doing it in a virtual way, and I think you're going to really, really, really like it.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible experience. And we're going to still enjoy delicious food together. That's one of the favorite components of a retreat is getting to eat some delicious stuff together, but we can still do that digitally. I got to tell you, I am loving the enthusiasm for amla green that's happening in the chat box, Cyrus. A lot of questions. People are asking, is amla hibiscus as effective? I mean, yes, it has the same amount of amla in it, plus some other powerful ingredients. So it's great. It's absolutely fantastic.
Right, so it looks like we got most of the questions here. If you guys got any other questions, please do let us know. Other than that, if you guys are interested in really, really taking full control of your metabolic health, highly, highly recommend joining the coaching program. Just like Robbie was saying, we do have a waiting list, and it's every so often we have an opportunity to join the coaching program. Right now, we do have that opportunity, but that opportunity is temporary, and we can only take a limited number of people. So I highly recommend getting involved if you want to, number one, boost your immune function. Number two, reduce insulin resistance or reverse it altogether. Number 3, dramatically improve your overall metabolic health. And number 4, almost completely eliminate your chronic disease risk, whether that's heart disease, kidney disease, fatty liver disease, Alzheimer's disease. Eating a low-fat, plant-based, whole food diet is such a powerful way to reverse chronic disease and reduce your risk for future chronic disease, that it's hard to sort of like overstate just how powerful it is.
Yeah. How many people? We have 293 people still with us right now.
Correct.
Here's what I'm curious about. If you're still with us and you're using diabetes medication, or you're using high blood pressure medication or cholesterol medication, or you're living with fatty liver disease or chronic kidney disease, any of the things I just said, write in the chat box if you believe that you can make all of those conditions a thing of the past. Right, I believe. Or if you don't, write skeptical. I want to know. I just wish like we have 288 people. You guys have still stuck with us. That's amazing. It's like a huge auditorium, Cyrus. I would love to just talk to every single person. Like, hey, like, like what's going on here? So I believe. Okay. I like it. That's what I'm talking about. And I think as this, like Cyrus, we've been talking about in this webinar, like boosting your immunity and really strengthening your innate immunity. And doing that, part of the game is a lot of people who have those comorbidities, which we've already identified, the CDC, the World Health Organization, already identified, like you're increasing your risk. You have the chance to take yourself out of that category. You literally have the opportunity to do that. That is within your control. And this virus is not going anywhere. As we start to open up and people come out, the flattening the curve is all about moving cases further down the path. This was not about like beating it or avoiding it. I guess like this is going to spread. We will be susceptible. This is real. And you have the time, you have the opportunity to take matters into your own hands. And like, we just want you all to jump on that. And this is the opportunity. Like our coaches, our team, we don't let you fail. Like it just doesn't happen. Is you come in here and you say, yep, I'm ready. We are going to be there with you every step of the way. I mean, if you go signature program, you got your entire group of coaches dedicated working at you every single day, 24 hours, okay? You got the small group coaching program. You're going to really get to know your group. Like, it's super, super powerful. And then you go to the private option, which is an incredible opportunity to have direct access to your coach, even texting and sending pictures of your meals and just really getting all that time dedicated to all the nuances that happen. And I the fact that I just saw all these I believes, I mean, that just really gets me pumped up, guys. So I really hope every single one of you that just wrote that, I hope you join us. I really hope you join us. And let's do this. Let's do it together. I mean, look at this. Is unbelievable. I'm still scrolling.
I mean, it's all over the place. That's great.
It's all over.
Yeah. So then, all right. So then let me ask you this second question to follow up on that, now that we're getting some really good information here. If you do believe that you can that you can achieve your best health in today's world, what roadblocks exist in your way right now? What are those roadblocks? Is it money? Is it time? Is it confusion? Is it being overwhelmed? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? You tell us. I want to know what it is. What are the roadblocks that do step in your way? Because these are real.
Absolutely. And let's talk about them all as they come in. Let us know. And I want to, like, somebody said that somebody was skeptical about blood pressure, Cyrus. And like I love working with the people who are like, I don't really believe you guys. I'm not sure. And it's just like, oh, that's great. I love you. Because you're gonna get so excited when it works. and we know it works. And that's amazing. Blood pressure is one of the easiest things that you can fix that happens quite quickly. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Money. Exercise is challenging for somebody. Time and money. Confusion.
Junk
Okay.
food craving. Scared to go grocery shopping. Money to purchase program. I am my only roadblock, says Donna.
You know what's funny about the money one, Cyrus, is in my question, there were a lot of people who were taking medications. And our program can literally pay for itself with the reduction of having to do your copays for many of these medications.
I mean, it's even more than that, to be perfectly honest, because, okay, think about it this way. Your average person living with diabetes spends an average of $14,000 per year in both what's called direct and indirect costs. Direct costs are things like medication and doctor's visits and medical equipment. Okay, those are direct costs because you just pay for them out of pocket. Indirect costs include things like time lost from work, money that you did not receive because you could not show up to work because you weren't feeling well, money that you did not receive because you had a doctor's appointment or because you went to the hospital. Okay, so the direct plus indirect costs on a national average is $14,000 per person living with diabetes. Now, when you change your lifestyle and you dramatically improve your overall health, the number of times that you go to the doctor goes down. The amount of medication you need goes down or can be completely eliminated depending on what they are. The amount of time lost from work goes down. So both your direct costs and your indirect costs do come down, and they come down dramatically. I remember personally when I was first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I was spending an average of $7,000 per year on insulin and insulin pump equipment, plus prescription medications, plus, again, indirect cost, time lost from work and beyond. Now, on a daily basis, not on a yearly basis, that number of 7,000 has been cut to less than $1,500. Okay, and I kid you not, these are not made up numbers. And the reason for that, again, is because my health is in such a much better place right now that going to a doctor is not something that I feel like I have to do frequently. And as a result of that, it simplifies my overall life. So when you're talking about cost savings and money being a problem, I get it. I totally understand it. There's no question about that. But I also want you to think about, rather than saying, I'm going to pay money right now for this thing, I want you to think about it as though I'm going to pay money for this thing and it's going to save me potentially tenfold as much money in the future. Okay? Think about it that way. The ROI, the return on your investment, is so high that it's hard to put into words.
Yeah. And honestly, when you say hard to put into words, like there are some elements of an increased quality of life that you just can't even put a value on.
100%.
Yeah. So we really don't want money to be a roadblock. And if you can see that you're actually saving money, I hope people get that. So let's see, what other challenges? Somebody asked, can I eat fish and stuff on this? So here's the thing, like we know one of the most important things we've seen as people adopt our method is that perfection is not required. So I listed off those foods, green, yellow, and red. We're not the food police. This isn't like a black and white. You have to do like 100%, otherwise you'll never get any results. It's all in alignment with your goals. And all we do as coaches is we help you understand, what consequences have happened, okay, based on your decisions and what you can do to achieve your goals. Like that's it. So that's all I'm saying is like, it's not like we're going to steal away foods that you feel like you really need to have in order to live a high quality life. That's up to you. It's up to you. All right. So let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. Sweet tooth. Well, if you have a sweet tooth, you get to eat a lot of fruit and learn how to eat fruit ripe. That's a fun part. You know, in the coaching program, we're always encouraging people to post pictures of the food that they buy so we can help them understand, hey, is that ripe? Is that not ripe? Like, that mango didn't taste good. Well, if we see a picture, I'll know exactly why that mango didn't taste good, and I can help you pick out some better ones. So a lot of the nuances and details is sort of like kind of like fun. We're very detail oriented here, and it's a big part of it. All right, let's see. What do we got? Got Jeanette saying she's overwhelmed. I feel you. Don't want you to be overwhelmed. And that's how we designed it, step by step. That's our goal. Because, I mean, we could do a whole webinar on this topic, but like, I can guarantee you, 225 of you still with us, which is awesome, that I'm guessing 90% of you have tried to make some lifestyle changes in the past and got overwhelmed and then just went back to what you're originally doing and be like, you know what? Like, why even do this? It's not even worth it. Like, this is so common. And that is specifically why we've designed the program in a way that is not overwhelming. Like, this is actually fun and enjoyable, and you can totally do it. So just want you guys to know that, like, understand that this one's different. This one's different. Let's see, what else can we do here? I think we've answered all the questions.
We have. I don't see too many more questions at all.
Love you guys' enthusiasm. And that's it. I think we'll catch you on the next one.
Catch you on the next one. Thanks for showing up, guys. We had a great time tonight, and we appreciate your attention. Stay safe out there. Eat like a champ, and we'll see you inside the coaching program.
Have a good one.
Take care, guys.